live on the YouTubes right now. Connecting your software.
Hey.
We are live. Wow. Okay. Perfect. All right, we are live across all platforms here, guys.
I can't see you though.
Yeah, I already told you, because if I have my OBS virtual, I'm not doing this shit with you. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 3 of the Piledriver Podcast. Guys, we're only a couple weeks away from WrestleMania. All right, so let me know right now in the comments. And over on Twitch, very first live stream on YouTube and Twitch. All right, you know how they do the intro for WWE now, where it's like we're live in Brussels. This is Netflix's first time, yada yada yada, right? So, Piledriver Podcast first live stream on Twitch and on YouTube, sponsored by myself. So, what's up, everybody? I'm Monty, also Nukes Monty.
I'm Okra fan.
Your boy Steve.
And guys, we're here to talk about this past week's SmackDown and Raw from Monday night. So, Nugs, why don't you lead us off here, man? Let's talk about some stuff.
What do you want to go to first, Raw or SmackDown?
Let's talk SmackDown, because we're gonna talk about CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns a little bit.
Okay, so I think SmackDown was a little bit actually a lot better this week
You think so?
with the SmackDown results. Yeah, I think it was a good SmackDown overall.
For sure.
So this one started out with another John Cena and Cody Rhodes. Right? Yeah. So they were the O2 Arena in London, which is pretty cool. You know, London fans are awesome. They had John Cena came out. It's the normal spiel lately with the whole booing him and doing the whole thing with Cena sucks and all that good stuff. I give his promo like a B.
For sure.
It was cool. It felt like another promo that we had from the other 2 weeks. It's a good obviously he's good at talking on the mic, but just another one of those promos. And then Cody comes out, tries to get it feels like these last couple of weeks he's actually trying to get him to talk to him on the mic. It just didn't work out on Friday. And then obviously we got something on Monday, but we'll get to that a little bit later. But yeah, that was cool. I like the way it started again with Cena and Cody. It's kind of like one of those things where you're looking forward to it every week. They're going back, I guess they're going back to the States now.
Yeah.
So we'll probably won't see him for a while. He has nothing booked for the next couple of weeks. So, but yeah, it was a cool promo.
Yep. I saw over on Twitter, or X, if you are one of those people who call Twitter X now, that The Rock will be at SmackDown this week. So pretty exciting.
Ooh, I didn't see that.
Yeah. I'll put it right here whenever. So the final boss will show up this Friday at SmackDown. I wonder what he's going to talk about and discuss. Yeah. So the John Cena Cody Rhodes promo, it was all right. I mean, it was pretty sweet to finally see John Cena interact with Cody. I think all in all, he gave a great, very descriptive illustration and painted a picture for Cody Rhodes about the state that John Cena is currently in with the WWE and the WWE universe. So I think the crossroads at the end was kind of, but you know, all in all, it was a great promo. I'm very glad that we finally got to see some back and forth between the both of them.
Oh yeah, that one was on Raw.
Oh, we're still talking. Okay. I don't know why I thought we automatically just jumped right to It's all good. It's all good.
Well, what are we talking about? Are we talking about?
Yeah,
which one are we
I
talking
thought we were talking
about? Are we
about. I thought we were talking about Cody and Cena.
All right. Let's shift gears. Okay. Let's go down our list. All right. Because again, we're kind of just focused on the highlights from Raw and SmackDown, right? So let's focus on the CM Punk Roman Seth contract signing segment, because I know that was a really big thing. Give our thoughts on that. So I'll give a rundown real quick on the segment a little bit, and then you guys share your thoughts. So so on last SmackDown, it was CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman. They all came out to the ring for their contract signing segment, and Roman gives his whole spiel, talking about like, oh, you guys need to thank me, for doing this. Without me, we wouldn't be here, blah, blah, blah. And then Seth comes out, and Seth's like, kind of getting pissed off at Roman, like, you shouldn't even be giving Punk the time of day type thing. And then we finally hear from Paul Heyman himself that this is going to be the final match. This is going to be the main event of Night 1, WrestleMania. So Punk is finally getting his main event. And for anyone who, has followed the Punk drama and everything like that from way back when he did the Colt Cabana podcast and everything, one of the things that he was really upset about, and one of the things Punk has always wanted, is that main event at WrestleMania. He's always wanted that for the experience, so he can learn more and have that experience as being someone who's main evented WrestleMania, so he can go up that next level and all that. So he's finally getting that, and Punk even got a little teary-eyed during that part of the segment, as a lot of people noted, and that was pretty much it. I mean, that was pretty much the main thing. And then Seth got all pissed off and was like, freaking out, because he's like, oh, Roman, you gave Punk this main event, you gave him everything he wanted and all this stuff. So I thought it was a good segment. I'll let you guys give your thoughts on it first before I give my thoughts. But I mean, Steph, what did you think about the segment? What did you like? What did you not like?
It was a good segment. I liked basically everything about it, really. I like the way Seth was like obviously hating Roman, but like way over dramatic about CM Punk. I like that a little bit though too, just showing how much he really hates CM Punk over Roman. Um, I love Roman. He's just being arrogant. I mean, the boss basically. He's attention. He's the main event, basically what he's trying to get across there. Um, and then CM Punk, it's cool. I honestly, when I saw that he was getting the main event for the first time, it kind of took me out of like the whole wrestling aspect of it. It was kind of like I thought it was more of a real like a real thing. Like he was actually very excited to have his first main event at WrestleMania, and I like that a lot too because someone like that deserves it after how many years of him being blackballed by the WWE and the former head of the regime. So finally gets that. My favorite part of the whole thing though was whenever Roman was like, "Hey, you're thanking the wrong person. You should be thanking me for getting you the main event at WrestleMania."
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And where CM Punk was like, "Thank you, my tribal chief." And he's like, "Thank you, the big dog," which is cool, just like another reference to old Roman.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just really cool, man. And then CM Punk obviously at the end's like, "I'll see you guys at WrestleMania."
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad it all happened the way it happened. It was a good segment. It actually got me a lot more hyped for that match too.
And I'm not sure how true it is or not, but from what I heard, people were saying that wasn't kayfabe. Like, that was actually Punk's first time hearing that was going to be the main event. And that was supposedly a genuine reaction from him with the, kind of teary-eyed look or whatever. So, who knows? But that's cool if that's true, though. Montana, what did you think of the segment? What did you like? What did you not like? Or, what are your thoughts? Let me hear them.
All in all, I don't want to get redundant here. Okay, it was a great segment. Okay, we got to see CM finally get his moment in the WWE, especially with WrestleMania. But my favorite segment. I'm a big Paul Heyman fan. Okay, I think Paul Heyman, like, as much as I know about Paul, I hear he gets a lot of hate. But all in all, I love Paul Heyman. All right, so the whole like Roman Roman Reigns, and he hands. You guys can't see what I'm doing right now. You two can't, but if you are on the live stream, you obviously see I have the microphone to my face, and I'm saying Roman Reigns. So, all in all, great. I'm very excited about that match. I think Seth freaking Rollins is a crybaby. So that's all I'm gonna put on it. Hopefully, CM takes it all. So good luck, CM. If you CM Punk, if you watch this video. Good luck out there.
I'm sure he appreciates that.
He's like, dude, imagine CM goes on. Hang on, we already have speculated that Triple H saw the original video because of his critiques.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that later on. We won't spoil too much. I will say, from my thoughts on the segment, I thought it was a great segment. Roman did a great job. Seth, is the biggest hater in the world, but he does that really well. And like I was talking to Monty about this before we went live, the real life beef between Seth and Punk and how there's legitimate heat there and like legitimate dislike there that Seth has talked about in like numerous interviews, talking about how he legitimately does not like Punk. And so, for him just to come out there and just be like Punk's just arch nemesis kind of, and just always hating on him and just, whatever, and getting all pissed at Roman for I guess giving Punk this opportunity at the main event, and Punk's going crazy in the ring, whatever. And of course, Paul Heyman is like the ultimate. I don't know if I can. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. He's the world's biggest glazer. He's Roman's.
You could
biggest
say
glazer.
that. Fuck it.
Okay, I can say glazer. Okay.
Yeah.
Heyman, bro is top dog when it comes to glazing. It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, Heyman's a legend. Heyman's great. Anything Heyman's in is just automatically gold. Paul's a genius, and I say Paul like I know him. Paul Heyman's a genius.
You might
I love his.
We don't know that.
Yeah, he's like a real life penguin. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
Take the penguin from the comic books and like bring him to life. It's Paul Heyman. Like literally, like the dude needs to play Cobblepot at some point in his life. Like it's waste opportunity if we don't ever get that. But anyway, yeah, great segment. And like I said, I think it was last week. I mean, this has been, I think, in my opinion, the best WrestleMania build-up feud out of all the big matches that we're gonna get. In my opinion, I just think they've done the best job with this feud than any other. And and that's all because of Punk and Seth, because they've been, I think, killing it with all their matches and their promos and just how, all that. They've, they need to give themselves props because they've done a great job. So I'll give it a segment. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. What about you guys?
Yeah, agreed.
9 out of 10. Stiff, what do you think?
Yeah. About a 9 out of 10, yeah.
Gotcha. And I will. Do we want to? We'll save that for another video. I was going to say, do we want to give predictions on who we think is going to win this or should win this, or
Yeah,
we can save that for WrestleMania prediction video, or do you guys want to do it now?
I mean, I've already kind of given my prediction.
I'm gonna say Punk's going to win it, and I think Punk should win it. I think he needs to win more than some people may disagree with that. Some people like Seth needs to win, but I think Punk should go over in this, and I think Punk should get a world title.
Punk wins it.
Soon.
Punk retires.
No, he can't retire off this for sure. We need another Punk title reign at some point, in my opinion. Stiff, what do you think?
Yeah, I think he gets a title reign, obviously, eventually. I do think CM Punk wins. I honestly think that Roman could easily win this. I just feel like Roman and Seth are going to get way too deep into their hatred for each other, and they're going to cause each other the match. That's how CM's going to end up winning. I do think like you said, though, I think this is the best built-up match. Besides, obviously, the big one, but this is the more organic, like, built-up match, I guess you would say.
Right.
Yeah, and I just think they've done a better job with it overall, too. I think they've done a better job with it than the Cody Cena thing, and that leads us to the next segment we're going to talk about. This was the other big highlight from Raw, the John Cena Cody Rhodes segment. So, typical what we've had so far the last few times. Cena comes out, he's getting booed. Cody comes out. Cody shares some words. Has some words for Cena, and then talks about what are you gonna say to me, John? Are you gonna make fun of my lisp? Are you gonna make fun of this or that? Blah blah blah. And you're gonna try to cook me on the mic. And then Cena responds, "No, I'm not gonna cook you. I'm gonna bury you." And Cena, goes on this tirade about how pretty much saying Cody's mediocre. Cody is not authentic to himself. Blah 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 blah. Starts dissing on the fans again, like he has been. And in my opinion, cuts a really solid promo against Cody. And Cody responds back with a litany of things I can't really repeat for YouTube and stuff. Calls John Cena a piece of beep, something like that. And definitely claps back at John. And the whole segment ends with Cody. Cena's about to leave the ring, and Cody says, there's one thing that they've never chanted at me, referring to the fans, and that you can't say the same for yourself, which is you can't wrestle. And Cena just stops, and he just like slowly turns and looks, and he gets back in the ring, and they kind of square up like they're about to get into it. And then Cena kind of smirks, turns around, tries to throw a sneak punch at Cody. Cody ducks it, hits him with the crossroads, and that's the end of the segment. So, Stiff, give me your thoughts on this segment. What did you not like? What did you like? What did you not like? And let us hear your opinions on this.
So yeah, I like the whole promo they cut against each other. I do think that John Cena's was a lot. How do I say it? It was a lot more directed at Cody for John's reasons. It's not like how Cody was like, oh, you're gonna make fun of this, and that, whatever, right? Like John was like, okay, you want your why of why I did what I did. Gave him that. Amazing when he said that. Obviously, I think John cut the better promo. Cody cut a good promo against him. I just feel like he was in it for the pops. He wasn't in it for like what he's actually saying. That's why he had to cuss and say all the crazy stuff that you normally don't hear. That's what got the fans actually go, oh my god, like. But the things that John was saying actually got me thinking that John cut the better promo because of the actual thoughts he had and what he was saying. He didn't have to cuss to get the crowd to be like, oh my god. He didn't have to do any of that. I felt like he just was saying the better things to him, like how Cody's mediocre. You're my chauffeur. You stole everything that all the tips I was giving to you when you were first in the WWE. That's why you're at where you're at. You're nothing but a suit and tie, stuff like that. I feel like that's a lot. That's a lot more of an organic thing instead of me going out there saying you're a piece of poop or like basically that kind of stuff. I like both of the promos. I did not like at all Cody hitting John with the crossroads at the end. I feel like it just makes it seem like John's weak. And I get it. I heard a lot of people say that John's not the strong, big destroyer heel in this. He's older Cena. He's probably going to use more like heelish tactics to win if he does win. But I don't know. To me, it just felt like okay, we're like he hit him with one crossroads and it just took he was out. Like that just makes me seem like I don't know. It just makes Cena feel like smaller in this a little bit. I didn't like it as much, but I still did like the promos. I gave it like a 9 out of 10 for both the promos. It was good though.
Monty?
So, all right. So we've already kind of covered my thoughts on it. So, but there's a lot of things I didn't talk about. Now that we're back to this, let's discuss it a little bit more. Okay. I love the fact that Cody tells John at WrestleMania, you're not wrestling Cody Rhodes. You're wrestling Goldust. Okay. Stardust? No, he says Goldust. Dude, I'm 100% positive.
Goldust is his brother.
No.
He did not say Goldust.
I 100% think that's a botch then, dude. Go back and reference it. I'm 100% positive he says Goldust.
Not botch. You botch.
No. Cody Rhodes, if you're watching this right now, look, I'm here we go.
He botched.
I don't remember him saying that.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
He didn't.
he
He said
says.
Stardust.
No, are you sure he says Stardust?
Yeah,
Are
he said Stardust.
We're all 100% positive here. Coleman doesn't even know what I'm talking about, so how are we going to take his word on this?
He did not say. I don't remember him saying that. Maybe he did, but I'm just saying.
Dude.
Steph said he did, so therefore he did. But
Okay,
if he did say that,
fine.
he said
I
Stardust,
botched
was
it.
Stardust.
Call me the Uso, bro. I botched it. I'm sorry. Look.
I do think that if he said that, he would. The whole promo would have been crap. He would have totally seen it everywhere like Cody. Promo was crap.
You're not wrestling.
Dude, this is crazy. Dude, y'all are crazy. So, listen. Okay, listen. That's why I love live stuff. Okay, so hang on.
He did bring up Stardust, though. He did have a little reference in there.
So,
What he did.
with that being said, I mean, that's a pretty cool little reference right there. Yeah, man, the Crossroads just seemed weak to me. Like, it felt, I don't want to say forced, but just unnecessary, you know? So, that's kind of my thought on it. I've already kind of given my spill. I would say, I don't want to say 9 out of 10. I think, because if I say 9 out of 10 on it, that's like saying, because we already kind of came to terms that the Rollins, Roman, and Punk promo was a 9 out of 10. I don't think this one, but I don't know. I'm going to say 7 out of 10 on this promo. The interaction between the two gives it that hype. If it would have been like the last 2 weeks where John comes out, gives his little spill, you know, oh, you know, poor me, F you guys. Cody comes out, defends the crowd. John walks away. Dude, it would have gone lower, 4 or 5 out of 10. But we got that interaction, that's saving it. So I'm going to say 7 out of 10 on this week's. Yeah. So, guys, I kind of want to feed into our next segment here. Can I do that?
Hold on, let me get my thoughts.
You want to get your thoughts out? No.
Yeah, I haven't got a chance to share my thoughts.
What the?
I'll be quick. I didn't get a chance to share my thoughts. Wait, look, I'll share our thoughts. So, what I want to say about this segment is I enjoyed it. Now, I think I agree with Steph. I think Cena, if you're going to talk about who won the promo battle, I think Cena definitely won. But I will say Cody held his own. Okay? And I think Cody deserves props on that. He held his own. And yes, I agree, you know, the cussing or whatever did feel like they were kind of like trying to protect him a little bit, you know, trying to get maybe a cheap pop or something from the crowd. But they were funny and they were clever. I like the Jorts line a lot. That was funny as hell.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, that cracked me up.
That was pretty good.
There are certain things though, like, and I think Cena's line where he said, "I don't bury talent. And then when he said talent, like, do you notice like his voice kind of squeaked a little bit or cracked, and he kind of sounded like Yoda? He said, "I am talent," and I was just like, "Oh my gosh!" Like he's literally sounded like Yoda for a second. I don't bury talent. I am talent.
All right, everybody give their best "I am talent" impression right now.
It's like RFK. It's like RFK.
I am the talent. Oh no.
But so anyway, I thought it was a good segment. Cena's line about, you know, I don't bury talent. Oh no, that's not what his voice cracked. His voice cracked when he said mediocrity. That's what he said. He goes, I don't bury talent. I bury mediocrity. That's what he said.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's what it was. He said, he goes, I bury mediocrity. And I was like, dude.
I can't say shit, man.
Anyway, still a great line from Cena when he said that. When he said, I don't bury. What did he say? I don't bury talent. I bury mediocrity, or whatever he was. Or he said, I don't bury talent. I am talent. I thought that was good. And Cena when he said, because Cody came at him with, you're corporate. You know, you're a corporate creation created by a certain former CEO who we don't talk about anymore. And Cena comes back with like, you know, I build empires for billionaires. Like that was a hard line. That was cold as hell. You know, so I guess
that was cool.
That. Yeah, Cena. Like I said, you got to give Cody props because Cody, besides like, even though the cussing, like you were saying, like felt kind of forced and like cheap pop kind of stuff, Cody, I still feel like was holding his own, and not a lot of people can do that in the locker room and on the roster. I mean, you saw what happened when Roman, however many years ago that was. I mean, getting just obliterated when he was still doing the whole big dog thing and all that. So props to Cody for that. But here's the thing. I agree with you guys. The crossroads at the end, was not a fan of that. My worry is this: if they try to protect Cody too much, which it feels like they're kind of doing a little bit, they're protecting Cody. They're wanting him to, up until this week, they've been letting him get the upper hand on Cena with like these promo battles and stuff in like a very scripted, inauthentic way, And what I'm worried is going to happen is like the fans are going to see that more and more. And you kind of saw it this week, like the fans were trying to like cheer for Cena and stuff like this. Like, just let what happens happen. Like, if Cena cooks him on the mic or whatever, then let Cena cook him on the mic. Like, let those guys feud it out, because it's only going to help Cody. Cody's only going to get better as a result of being in there in a promo battle with Cena, and let them just cook each other. Like, you know what I mean? Let them go at it and let it be authentic with whoever ups each other. You know what I mean? Whoever wins the battle, let them win the battle. Don't try to do this forced thing of trying to protect Cody, because it's just only going to turn the fans against Cody. And you don't want that. This is your big baby face. Like, you don't want him. That's why people hated Cena for so long, is because people got so sick and tired of Cena being so protected all the time and going over on everybody and, like, winning every feud and winning every promo battle and everything like this. And, that's why people got so tired of Cena, because it felt so forced and corporate and fake. And, I don't want him to go that direction with Cody, because Cody doesn't need it. Cody's got all the makings to be their next big star for the next 10 years. I mean, I really do believe that. Like, I'm not some Cody Rhodes fanboy. I'm just saying, as when it comes to like marketability, I mean, the theme music, I mean, he's a great in-ring worker. He's great on the mic. Like, he's got all the makings of what they would need for a top guy. But if you try too hard to protect him, it's going to backfire. And you're going to have to go with heel Cody, which is fine, because heel Cody, could totally, I mean, that would totally work. I will say this, and be a final thing. I do wish they would have, there were certain things that Cody, I think, should have said, that would have been a little bit, when I was talking about like authenticity, like when Cena's in there telling, Cody, you're fake, you have to wear your gimmick on your tattoo on your neck and all this stuff, and then all, whatever. And, I think that was a missed opportunity for Cody to talk about the fact that, nothing was handed to him. Cody had to go outside of the WWE in places like Ring of Honor and, AEW and all these things. I mean, help create AEW really and make it what it is, at least when he was there, when it comes to success and these rival companies or whatever. And he built himself up to where they wanted him back, and it's just little opportunities like that where I don't understand why WWE, doesn't take advantage of, to have Cody bring that up against Cena. You know what I mean? In those scripts or whatever, I feel like, there needs to be more emphasis on that. Cody talking about and kind of bragging himself a little bit that he worked his ass off to get where he's at, and he could totally, that would be a good kind of vantage point storyline wise for him to bring that up, because that's one of Cena's big things is, you're inauthentic, you haven't worked as hard as I have or whatever. And, so I don't know. It's like they're protecting him in the wrong ways, and having him hit the crossroads at the end is not the way to protect Cody if you're going to try to protect Cody. That's all I'm going to say. But I still enjoyed it. But because of that really lame ending, I'm going to give it like a 6 out of 10.
Okay. I'm going to transition into this. Okay.
Okay.
All right. You cannot convince me that Triple H didn't watch last week's episode. You just can't. Okay? Because think about it. What did we talk about last week? Okay? We talked about how badly planned the Usos and the A-Town Underground or A-Town Down Under team match was, right? And then the Gunther, interaction. It was so bad. But what did we say in that? Stiff, please tell us what you said should occur in what would have been this past week's episode, and then tell us what did occur.
So, Mr. Triple H Polovic, if you are watching this, I don't mind getting any kind of recognition if you ever see it.
Thank you.
Again. But no, I just said prior episode that with the feud between Jay and Gunther, that they need to go with the Jimmy route. They need some kind of attack on Jimmy that they beat him down. He beats him down so bad in front of Jay that it makes Jay like break out in hatred, rage, and something like that needed to happen because that's kind of like an old school tactic. If you will back to like the Attitude Era or like the Ruthless Aggression Era, they would do that a lot backstage. And I'm like, man, that would work if like Gunther did that with Jimmy. That would make this feud kind of a little bit more built up. And then obviously we got into this week with it. It looked like it worked, you know?
It absolutely worked. Okay. By far, probably my favorite part of this past week's episode. Okay. We get just this bloodied, oh gosh, it was crazy. It was crazy. He's just getting beat to hell. Gunther standing there like, oh, where's your brother? What you gonna do? Oh, and everybody's hating on oh my gosh, dude. The ring general fucked him up. I can say that. I don't care. You can bleep it out for all I care. Oh man. Yeah. I can't say it enough. I 100% think that Triple H watched last week's episode. So, I'm going to reference back to the past here. CM, if you're, CM Punk, if you're watching this episode, good luck.
We got 13 subscribers. One of them is CM Punk, and the other one is Triple H.
Hey, put a little badge of honor right there. 13 subs, one being CM Punk, the other one being Triple H.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Triple H, for watching this. I will say, yes, great segment. I was hating hard on the lap, and rightfully so, because you're having a world title match at WrestleMania and you're building up with tag team matches. Like, that was stupid. And to be honest with you, this is one of my big complaints with WWE is, they wait too long sometimes. Now, I understand slow build. I understand you don't want to show your best hand too early on, right? Like, you want to build interest over time and build up the storyline. I get that. I totally get that. But look, sometimes they wait too long, especially like weeks before the show of shows. WrestleMania, you're the biggest pay-per-view of the year, right? You in a world title match and your world title feud. Okay, you can't wait this long to be doing this, in my opinion. This is something that should have happened weeks prior to build up the feud, to build up the rivalry. But so that's my only complaint. My only complaint about this segment is that this should have happened way sooner. Get rid of all the stupid tag team stuff or whatever. As soon as Jay won the Royal Rumble and announced he was facing Gunther, they should have had something like this happen, where Gunther attacks Jimmy and does this to him. But Gunther, they really made Gunther look like a badass. I mean, just like you guys were saying, beating the I'll just say it, beating the shit out of Jimmy. Sorry if YouTube doesn't like it. Well, whatever. If it gets age restricted, then we'll learn our lesson. But just beating the shit out of Jimmy. Zip tying Jay's arm to the ropes, and Jay's just in there freaking out, saying, "I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm gonna beat your ass." And Gunther just at one point licking Jimmy's blood and spitting it out like. Michael Cole freaking out, standing up. It's like, someone stop this. This is ridiculous. Like, it was just perfect. Like, prime, just like everything you love about WWE, just chef's kiss. It was great. And this is how they need to book Gunther as just an absolute badass ring general. It's perfect. Perfect for his character. This is what this rivalry needed desperately. Hopefully, they don't really have time to do much else from this point forward, but we'll see how it goes. But it's definitely like Rocky IV, Ivan Drago, Apollo Creed type moment, which I like. So it was good. So I'll give it a 10 out of 10. I'll give this segment 10 out of 10.
You know what? 10 out of 10 for me as well. I don't think there's anything else they could have added to. I think they did it just right. The amount that we received in it was perfect.
I agree. Steph, any final thoughts on this?
No, it was perfect. That's exactly what we needed from this feud between them, and I'm ready to see it on WrestleMania. It's still not going to be the main event. 100%. It's not gonna. It's gonna be like middle of the day, but it builds it up enough to where I'm ready to see the match.
Yeah.
And hopefully Gunther beats that ass at WrestleMania, even though I know he won't.
Oh my
I know
gosh.
Jay's gonna win. I know Jay's gonna
No.
win. Jay's gonna win.
I
But
have an awesome prediction for this match. Not the actual match itself, because I obviously know who's gonna win.
Okay, so there we go.
But for the beginning of the match, would be dope.
Next
But
week's
we'll save that.
episodes will be our predictions for WrestleMania.
yeah, we gotta do a prediction.
Yeah.
We'll do WrestleMania prediction.
Yes.
We'll do
Next
Joel
episode,
Green.
tune in. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. That's really good.
All right, Nugs, if you want to lead us into our very last talking point for this episode.
You're talking about the absolutely terrible
Yes.
match with Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. So yeah, Io Sky and Rhea Ripley had their championship match, and Bianca Belair was the special guest referee. I will not say that the match was terrible itself. The match was okay. It had some good points. Obviously, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky are amazing performers in ring. I just feel like the way this whole thing ended with like a double DQ and stuff like that, this is terrible. This is terrible booking for WWE. This is one of those that I'm like, wow, you guys did absolutely terrible with this one, because it's gonna end up what you could have just did last week
Right.
or the week before,
Right.
where you just put them in a triple threat and that's it, and then you call it a day, and then what would have been cool is if you put them in a triple threat 2 weeks ago, and then you start building on the triple threat from that. Then you have more time to build the match itself with the triple threat. But it's like now you're going to put them in a triple threat. Now you're gonna have what, less than a month, not even that, not even close to less than a month. Like, anyway, it's terrible booking. What they did with this is terrible. But that is on the people that are doing the backstage stuff with like the performance and stuff. I believe that the match itself is still going to be amazing. These three are amazing performers in ring. They're amazing on the mic. I think the match will be amazing as well. But it's just the rest of it, how it was booked and how it was put together, was terrible for me. And if we're gonna rate it 1 out of 10, it was definitely like a 2 or 1.
Man, I wanted to give it low, but I don't know if I'm gonna go that low. But yeah, no, I definitely think the double DQ was just a cop out. Okay, I think there could have been. I don't think we've seen the end of it either, though. I really don't. But who knows? I'm excited for that match, Bianca Belair, Io Sky, WrestleMania. I just don't know, man. That match just didn't set right with me. I definitely think my girl Rhea, I think she deserves a chance. I deserve a chance. You know what I'm saying? If you're watching this, if you're one of my 13 subscribers, please. I don't know, man. Yeah, I would say all in all, it was a 4, a high 3, a low 4 for me. Cole, what are your thoughts?
Pretty much the same. I mean, I did enjoy the match personally. I thought it was a good match. Really enjoyed it. But I agree, the whole double DQ to me just felt like lazy booking, and another case of just kind of a lame WrestleMania build. Like,
Yeah.
I hate to say it, like Rhea's great. Like, Rhea's my favorite female wrestler and all that. And
Mine too.
like, I'm for sure. Yeah. Yeah. We've clarified this. Anyway, yeah, no, so of course, yeah, I mean, I'm rooting for Rhea to win. I hope she wins. And I'm sure the match is gonna be great at WrestleMania. I'm sure it's gonna be a great match. But it's not just all about the match. It's about the storyline. The storyline is just as important as what happens in the ring. And in some cases, it's more important. Because if you have a really lame storyline no one cares about, and that's kind of where I'm at. Like, even though I like Rhea, and I'm sure they're all going to have a great triple threat match, like, I don't care about storyline. Like, I don't care. Like, the whole fight, like, it's just kind of lame with Adam Pearce or whatever coming out and freaking out. It's kind of corny. It's cheesy. It's not really funny to me. It's not entertaining to me. It's just, to me, very lazy, lame. And again, this is the women's championship, right? So, like, this should feel like really important. This shouldn't be Adam Pearce in the ring, backstage freaking out, being all goofy, whatever, having these goofy little backstage segments and oh man, to double DQ, what's gonna, like this should feel serious. This should feel like I was saying about the Jimmy J Gunther, or like the Jay versus Gunther thing. This is a title rivalry. Like this is one of your titles in the company. Like this should feel serious. There should be real heat going on here. This should feel like an intense rivalry for the title, right? Like you shouldn't be having tag team matches 2 weeks, 3 weeks out from WrestleMania for your world title. And the same thing with the women's match, like doing these goofy little backstage stuff or whatever with Adam Pierce or whatever his name is, and having these, lame booking decisions for a double DQ. To me, it just feels lazy, and it feels like they don't really know what they're doing with the storyline, and they're just kind of figuring out as they go. I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. I give the match 4 out of 5, or 4, I guess 9 out of 10, since we're doing the whole 10 scale thing. I'll give the match 9 out of 10, but the overall segment, whatever, because of the ending, yeah, I mean, I'll give it like a 5 out of 10. I'm not a fan.
For sure. Well,
so is this where we propose, fan questions to leave for the comments for the next video?
absolutely.
I do want to ask this, Montana and Stiff, if you want to propose your own questions or whatever, but I do want to hear from the viewers, because we're kind of, one of the themes we've been talking about here is rivalries and which one has been the best. I want to know what your guys' favorite feud leading up to WrestleMania has been so far. Is it the Jay Gunther feud? Especially after this segment, it could be up there. Is it, in my opinion, the best one so far, the Punk Roman Seth feud? Is it the Cena versus Cody? Which match do you feel has been built up the best, and which one are you looking forward to the most?
No. And to add on to that rivalry thing, I would like to know from our fans, what was your favorite rivalry of all time? Like, what would you say would be your personal favorite rivalry of all time?
Agreed.
Throw in a third one, Lonnie.
Oh, I got to throw a third one in.
There's lots of options.
I got so many options. Are we building off the rivalry thing, or let's see? Rhea Ripley. Yes. Joke.
Uh-oh.
Someone's head's in the gutter.
Yep. Chat, 1 for yes, 0 for no. Oh man. Let's see. I mean, I've proposed so many questions in like YouTube Shorts and all that. I'll go back to. I don't know. I don't have any questions. Those are your 2 questions. You guys have homework. Building into next week's episode. The viewers at home, you have homework. Those 2 questions.
Yeah, your favorite rivalry of all time,
and your favorite one building up right now.
Your favorite WrestleMania rivalry. Your favorite, was that it, Steph?
Just any rivalry of all time. Like, what's the one that you remember the most? That was your favorite.
Sure. I will answer that for the audience.
Next
Triple
week.
H. Well, okay, next week. Okay, fine, next week. I already kind of said it. Triple H. The Triple H Shawn Michaels feud.
No.
Yeah. Sorry, I spoiled it. Okay, answer those 2 questions. Yeah, let us know in the comments your favorite rivalry of all time, and what do you think's been the best built up rivalry for this WrestleMania. I don't have anything else to add. I'm Okra.
And next week will be our prediction video, right?
Yes.
Don't want to miss that.
Next week will be our prediction.
You don't want to.
We want to do dream booking or like actual prediction.
So we're gonna predict. Hang on, chat. Let me cook for a second. We're gonna predict. We're gonna predict WrestleMania. Okay. Which is a bad time for me to tell you guys, but I'm gonna be in Mexico for WrestleMania, so it's a bad time. We're gonna predict WrestleMania, and then we're gonna talk about where do we go from there. Dream bookings, so on and so forth. So very exciting stuff to come. So I want to thank you guys so much for hitting that follow button over on the Twitch. We got 3 followers over on the Twitch already. Thank you guys. And thank you for hitting that sub button over on the YouTube.
Yep.
I'm Monty.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for hitting that.
All right, let's do a more organized outro. Everybody ready?
Okay.
Lock in.
Lock
in.
My name's Okra.
Hey, what's up, Monty?
Your boy Steph.
And we will see you guys next
Hey,
week.
let's say it
for
all
our-
together. Say it all together. 3.
What are we saying together?
We'll see you
What are we
next
saying?
week. That's what we're gonna say. 3,
All right, ready?
2, 1, and we will see you. Nope, got
See you
it.
next
No,
week.
hang on, backtrack. 3, 2, 1, and we will see you next week.
That was so bad.
That was so bad. All right, peace out.
No, we're gonna say it this all the time. We will see you next week for our WrestleMania predictions.
Okay,
It's
3,
gonna go so good, dude.
3, 2, 1, and we will see you all next week for our WrestleMania prediction.
WrestleMania prediction.
Oh,
Yay!
it's just me, Oos. It's just me. All right. Peace out.
Peace.